Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? My name is Kyle, you know me as Dragonmar, and welcome to a new video. Today we'll be looking at some Gold 3 gameplay here on Icebox with Lunic playing Raze. And the reason I wanted to look at this gameplay is because he says that he's been stuck here for almost 3 weeks now, and at the time of recording it would be even longer, right? And he's been working on movement and peeking, which is something that so many people need to work on, but also that he's playing with people who are higher ranked than him normally. So this is a great opportunity to look at what it's like to play with and against higher ranked players. I could talk about that a bit, explain the differences and how you can play around certain things. And also this is a very bad game for him. So this is like the perfect combination to really look at what he can do to improve here. Now, if you guys want your VOD reviewed, by the way, make sure you join the Discord in the description down below and submit your VODs into the VOD request channel. I am looking to do this more often again, so please get those VODs submitted. And there's a good chance yours will get reviewed. But anyways, here we're jumping into the first round here. Now with Raze, obviously no flashes, but you know, definitely has some utility that can be used to clear out positions. Obviously the boombox there, not finding anyone, but did I say boombox or boombot? Not finding anyone, but still, you know, clears some space. And positioning around the teammates here, does get a nice shot onto the jet and a nice follow-up onto that stage there. And at this point, right, this is a 5v3. All you have to do now is you just play back. Someone should probably watch flank for exactly that reason. And that should be the round there. So a pretty decent first round, I would say. You know, on pistol, a lot of the times you could just steamroll the enemies if you play together. And I think that's essentially what we saw here. All right, start of the second round now. I'm going to be moving up here. And it looks like we're going to be buying a Spectre with half armor. Going to send out a boombot. Actually does find the player there, going for a double satchel in. Looks like someone might have been close. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening here. If we rewind this, we're gonna hear the shorty shoot twice, and there is no reaction here. And so this is a very simple. Lunic, when you are whenever you guys are making plays like this and you're going in deep above the enemy like that, whether it's with Jet or in this case with Raze, you got to be listening to all the sound cues around you. There was 2 shorty shots, you were very close to you, definitely from an enemy, and you had no reaction to it. So that was just a poor play there. That's something that is a very easy fix, and it's just about staying focused and listening to everything that's happening around you. Now, one thing I had talked about in the beginning was that, as he said, some of the people he's playing with here are normally around diamond level. And so whenever you're playing with or against higher ranked players, one of the most important things you can do is play more of a support role, because in general they are going to outskill you, and a lot of the times when there is a skill discrepancy from like gold to diamond, they're just simply going to outshoot you, right? But if you could play support around them, you can utilize things that can kind of make up that difference in mechanical skill that you normally see between these ranks. And that's really where the game changer is. If you can stay alive late into rounds and even just bait for your teammates, or you know, play that trading role, or just use your utility to flush out enemies to fight your teammates who maybe be better than you, those are really great ways to help your team even when you are feeling less confident or less skilled than your teammates. And I think that's something not enough people do. You know, when you're just challenging angles and taking all these fights as a lower ranked player, you're going to struggle a lot more in these games. All right, so currently up 3-0 right now. Things are looking pretty good. And heading into this 4th round here, we've got the Phantom Buy. It looks like this is the lineup that Lunic likes to use. I believe this right corner over here. But oh man, these shots here, just not very crisp. Let's take another look at these. So you actually had pretty good crosshair placement for his position. But as you can see there, your movement is just a little bit off. You're gonna aim on him, move a little bit, he crouches, you don't adjust, and you just can't find the shots there. You got to commit to that fight. That to me was a great example of you kind of having your crosshair in the right spot, but maybe your eyes were looking somewhere else. When you are clearing angles like that, you have to be ready to take those fights. That to me is like the telltale sign of somebody who was not prepared to take a fight there. Almost like he caught you off guard, despite you having a pretty decent opportunity there to get that kill. I would have given you a favorable odds there to win that fight for sure. So that's something where whenever you're clearing angles like that, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared to take that shot and get the kill. Now moving into round 5, we are up 4-0, so teammates definitely putting in some work here. So there was the first shots, no trade. And that's something where maybe Lunik just needs to be paying a little more attention there. You know, he was kind of held back a bit, just being able to quickly swing that off of contact. I don't know if he knew that his teammate was going to swing that, so it is hard sometimes, but just checking the map, seeing where your team is, where they're moving to, because in that situation, I'm pretty sure that Sage had to have been exposed to where Lunik could have seen to be able to get that kill, which means there was an opportunity for a trade there. So Boombot does find somebody close, it looks like. This will give some info. So Lunik stops the plant there. And the problem with stopping this plant is that you put yourself in a really tough situation to get a plant after that because of the positioning, because of where you can plant the spike. You're very limited when you cancel plants. So this is going to be a tough situation here, especially with an opper shooting down on them. It looks like he's going to opt to rotate out here, which in my opinion is the correct play. I definitely would not stay there, especially walking into an op when you don't really have any utility. All right, yeah. I don't really think you need to jump across that. You also had your blast packs to use as well. So the jump there, incorrect in terms of what you should have done with your movement. Should have just probably either went for the kill there to swing on that guy, or blast packed and just jumped across. So another thing I want to say about kind of about playing with better players is a lot of the times your value as a player in these games with better players comes solely from you staying alive as long as you can. A lot of people don't realize this, but in games like Valorant, you can apply pressure to the enemy just by being alive and by making them have to think about how they're going to deal with you and where you might be. It's sort of one of those unsaid type of situations where people don't really talk about it a lot, but just being alive and having numbers and applying pressure that way is so vital. So if you're finding yourself dying early when you're playing with higher ranked players, you're hurting the team in more ways than you think, rather than, once again, if you're just playing support and playing back. All right, Lunik definitely struggling here. I believe only with 1 kill so far. We are on round 7. So as a duelist, this is something you want to pay attention to. And if you're noticing you're having games like this, there's a good chance that you're doing something wrong and that you're going to want to change up either your play style or the agents you're playing. So a quick 1-for-1 trade. Lunik going for a nade and then a satchel, and he's not going to get the jump off, and instead will die to the Omen. Let's get a replay here. Let's just take a look. All right. Yeah, so again, I think what's happening is that the Omen is ready to fight in that position, and Lunik is just doing too many things. He's nading, he's satcheling, and then he's getting shot at, right? And because there's so many things going on, he can't really get himself into that position to take those fights. So right there, what you really want to do is you want to make that split-second decision. Am I going to fight this guy, or am I going to step back for a second? And I think there, what you want to do is you just want to back up, get ready to pre-aim that corner, and then swing the corner for the fight if you want to take it. You should not have kind of like went out, went in, went back out without really being ready to take that fight there. Again, I think you're unprepared and your movement is letting you down. All right, now we're on round 8 here. Just sitting on a sheriff buy, half armor. Now with the sheriff, essentially what you're looking for is you're looking for that opening pick, right? You're just looking to get one and then try to retrieve that gun if possible. So we'll see what can happen here. All right, so Lunik is clearing. I would say he's doing a pretty decent job. So you gotta be very careful right there. Right there, if someone was holding that angle down low, would have been very dead, right? As we saw, he was looking up into the nest, would have been dead. So gotta remember when you're clearing angles like that, because you are leaving yourself exposed. Okay, runs into his own name just a little bit. Not the biggest deal though. All right, again, movement. Not really sure, why we're going in and out of a smoke to throw a satchel, especially when you were already pushed up like that. I don't really think flying through the air would change anything, and you actually hurt yourself by not being able to take a fight really with that Omen there. So again, just a misplay, not just movement, right? But these are decision-making misplays as well, because you're deciding to do this stuff. It's not just your movement. So yeah, definitely something to pay attention to. All right, and just like that, we're into a tie game. So things have kind of fallen apart here for Lunik and company. Sitting on a Raze that's not really making a lot of plays. You got to think about how you can impact these games a bit more. In this situation, especially considering you are the only duelist on your team, you definitely want to be playing the entry role, But if you're struggling, you could potentially look to use all of your utility before entering, or entering just off of utility alone. So that means, you know, you would use, for example, your boom bot, then you would nade, and then you would satchel in or something, right? That way you're using everything you have, so that when you die, you're not sitting on all of your utility, which, you know, with Raze is a little bit different because it's not super vital. But I'm just trying to think of ways in which that you can actually sort of help your team as the sole duelist, right? Because this is a tough position to be in when you're underperforming as the only duelist on your team. You know, your team also is lacking in flashes as well. That's something that I think, you know, is going to really hinder your ability to get these wins. Because remember, especially at these ranks, flashes are like vital, because first of all, people aren't going to turn from them. and second of all, you know, that's going to give you the time you need to get those vital kills, right? Because people are going to be so busy being blinded, and because the aim isn't exactly perfect at this rank, you're going to have all the time you need to get the kills. But again, here we are going to die. If we take a look at this fight, we've got Boombot out. That Sage Wall allowed for the Sky to kind of be sitting in there, and you just weren't ready to take the fight again. Clearing sight is so important, and with sight not clear there, you got to remember, if you're going to pull out utility without sight being clear, that is something that can always happen. The team does end up winning that round, which is good, putting us on to round 10 here. Oh, and just slow reactions. I mean, that's really all it is, right? Now, of course, that's a tough one, right? The opping Jet jumping up onto pipes there, but still, just a little bit slow on the reactions. I think even if that was a Vandal or a Phantom up there, you still would have died to that, just because you weren't fast enough. All right, round 11 here. We got one round to go until half, and we are on the Vandal. So we Vandal full utility. We got armor. Things are looking good. Team is a little bit split right now. Cypher kind of lurking. I think what I'd like to see here is a good use of maybe some satchels to get in after you let this Aster utility go down. So now with this down, actually, you know what? With the Sage Wall as well, now you're really just looking for plant. Not sure what, maybe Sage didn't realize she had the spike. So okay, right here, Sage is going to get a nice easy plant down. You're holding your flank, which is okay. There was a trade there. Oh man, this is tough. Ooh, we gotta watch this again. Yeah, you're shooting late. I mean, like, you have this guy on your screen, you come out and you're shooting behind him as he moves, and again, this is really indicative of the type of aim we see at this rank, where if people are standing still, yeah, you're probably good, but when people start moving, it can be very difficult, especially when you're playing a Vandal, because in that situation there, you were relying on the, you know, the Vandal spray to carry you through. That's just not going to happen, right? You've got to be able to adjust, and there was no adjustment in your aim. You just kind of shot behind him. You even looked like you were kind of tapping. It's just not going to fly at this rank, especially when you're standing still, and like you said, you're playing with people who are higher rank. Maybe it's pulling the MMR up, maybe the enemy team is also better. You're gonna die every time if you're shooting behind like that. Very, very important that you work on your flicks and you work on that precise first shot accuracy, because that is what carries you through these games. You know, this isn't Call of Duty, right? You're not going to get away with just spraying everybody. You've got to be able to hit those first shots. But moving into the last round here, let's see how things go again. Only one kill so far, and we are on round 12. So there's definitely more going on here than just things like movement and peeking. It's definitely a problem with aim, and right there as well, I mean, you know, just kind of understanding angles as well, and map knowledge, knowing that that Omen has an angle on you there, you know, not clearing it, not even jump checking or something right there, you know, just jump out wide, swing back, see if somebody's there. You know, just the little things, right, are going to make all the difference. But a very, very poor first half here, unfortunately, for Lunic. All right, hopefully we can turn things around here on defense. Now, especially when you're going up against people who might be better than you, defense does, I think, tend to favor you, because you can let them kind of walk into your traps, right? They walk into your position. You get more of an option on when you want to take fights on defense. So defense does definitely favor players who are lesser in skill overall than their counterpart. So let's see what Lunic can do here. Currently a 4v4. Now we've got nade, which is really good, because this nade can help the sort of prevent this plant here. That nade definitely would not have prevented the plant though. Still has a boom bot. Can't you jump and throw the boombot on top of that wall? I think that could have been a nice play there, to kind of distract, you know, work with the teammates a little bit. So you throw that as your team pushes in. That could have been good. But nonetheless, teammates clean it up, and you guys will take the lead here to start the second half. All right, so again, in the same spot, this does seem like Lunic's position. Let's see what's going to happen here. So we've got some Astra utility down, playing 3 on A, kind of leaving mid open. Ooh, gonna take some shots and damage. Just gotta, you know, gotta be aware. People walking through smoke and stuff. Not 100% sure I love this play style here. All 3 players on the ground. You generally want people elevated, you know, at least on rafters, if nothing else, just to kind of get those, you know, when you take the 2v1s or whatever, when you swing together, you want to have a high ground as well, because it is incredibly difficult to flick from low ground to high ground or high ground to low ground when 2 people are fighting you at once. You know, you also can distract players from being up top. They try to correct their aim onto you. You know, they can't fight your teammates. It's really, really important to do that. So everybody staying on the ground there, probably not the best play, but it looks like it will work here. Thankfully, with the other team losing the pistol round, you guys are able to buy up here a bit, so you will take this one. But again, you know, just the aim is very shaky. Very, very shaky. So third round of half here, we're going to go with a Vandal buy. Let's see what the play is here. So you'll move off of A. I can't imagine 3A is meta, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it is. I like this a lot more, having somebody play, you know, mid here on this ramp, just to kind of get this, you know, you don't want people walking down mid on you, which can happen, and then they just walk straight into A, and you're in some real trouble. But player down on B, let's see, full utility. So going wide here. Looks like they've turned around probably. And now again, you've got to worry about mid. You will get the res, so a lot invested into this round. Oh man, that was a long range fight. You were very close to hitting these shots, but the movement of that jet. I don't know if you noticed this, but this is what good movement looks like. Ready? You stand still. Let's see what he does. Ready? Jet swings, misses, moves, shoots, kills you. That is what good movement looks like. And you're just standing still like a statue. Again, they're just going to mow you over. I mean, it's so easy to hit a stationary target. And that is a perfect, like, summarization of what's been happening in this game. You're just getting outskilled by the enemy in a lot of ways. I think that one suggestion you could definitely make here that I make to a lot of players is to focus on that first shot accuracy when you're peeking, because what I've been noticing a lot of is the first shot is never landing. And remember, when you tag somebody in Valorant, it slows them as well. And that's going to make your subsequent shots easier to land. But in situations like this, where you can't even hit the first shot, you're allowing that full movement to go to the enemy, and they're just going to walk around you like that jet did. I mean, just simply strafe out of your shots and get a free kill onto you, right? So it's very, very important in these games to make sure that when you're taking a first shot, it's landing, even if it's not a headshot. Because as soon as you miss the first shot, now you're down in the fight. Now you're already losing even before they hit you, because now you got to deal with your recoil and hope you can get the recoil right. Especially when you're using guns like Vandals, very, very difficult to do. So the switch here to the Phantom does net Lunic 1 kill. And another kill there. So already doing a much better job here with the Phantom. I will say, you know, this is very common advice, but if you are struggling and you are using a Vandal, especially when it comes to accuracy, you may be much better off just switching to the Phantom. And there we go, 9-7. All right. Again, you know, playing over here towards A. No aggression so far. No aggression, but I think that's smart, because when you're losing aim duels, when you're struggling, being aggressive sometimes is just, you're essentially feeding, right? You're running it down mid. You know what I mean? You got to be very, very careful with when you choose aggression. You guys know on Icebox, I love pushing up on A here. But when you are struggling, you do want to kind of hold that back, because a lot of the times you're just asking for it. You're just asking to, you know, go deeper into that rabbit hole of sadness, right? So you definitely want to be careful when it comes to aggression here, but very defensive play from Lunic, you're noticing. Now, the problem with his position right now is with no one defending mid, he could definitely get walked up on, right? Both him and the Astra right now. So that could be devastating. Astra will turn around though, thankfully. I just keep thinking about that because it's happened to me so much. But Sova, alone on B, is able to take 2 out. So right now, all he has to do is just wait. You guys are in a 5v3 here. Doesn't even matter if they get a plant. Really nice job by him. All right, so you're going to be clearing.
Enemy remaining. 30 seconds left.
Going down the hallway. Things looking pretty good so far. Omen spotted mid. And this should be an easy round win for you. Oh, he is getting kills. Just kidding. Probably going to go pick up that weapon, I would assume. But yeah, you know, this was, I think that what we're seeing now, hopefully the Phantom will allow you to hit those shots. Maybe you've been missing with the Vandal now. Just watching the game, I don't think that is the biggest problem, right? I don't think your weapon choice is going to make all the difference, but it'll be something to consider. All right, 10-7 here. You guys just won on time in the last round. So let's see what can happen. Right there, you saw early aggression onto A, but then they actually went to B. Now your Sova held up well. All right, so player spotted, so you know where somebody is over here on A. You'll use your boombot. Crosshair placement has definitely been lacking though. I've noticed you are, you know, you're doing a lot of these swings, but I think you're aiming a bit low on a lot of these. A lot of times you actually, I remember one time earlier you kind of got away with it because I think the Omen was in a weird spot, but that is something I've been paying attention to as well. Just noticing that, you know, in a lot of these situations you want to be able to hit that first shot headshot, and I don't know if you would technically with where you're aiming. Now right here, this should be okay, because they will be at the lower part of that ramp there. But let's see. 4v5, 10-7, 45 seconds left.
Get out of my way.
All right. So Jet's going to use her ult. In mid, I probably wouldn't challenge that. I would maybe re-peek. Yep, just like that. But unfortunately, it looks like the Viper is already through here. You're going to want your gun out for sure. Ooh, a nice play there to kill the Jet. So she comes around the corner, you move to your left, and she right clicks and misses you. So good movement there, actually secures that kill, but Viper does unfortunately trade you out. All right. You will lose that round, unfortunately. So it is going to go down to 10-8 here. Again, sticking with the Phantom, I think that is smart. Again, playing pretty defensive though, right? And you got to remember, when you guys always play defensive, you give the other team a lot of space. And space is what wins games sometimes. So you've got to be careful with this style of play. Proper utility usage from the other team can like just completely win this game if they're able to kind of push you back to this corner of the site and then they just smoke you out and then plant, right? And then you're playing retake every round. So you want to be careful, but again, a nice kill onto the Jet there. No headshot, right? But you are doing the damage with the Phantom. Again, it's gonna have better recoil control, right? And sometimes that's all you need. Right here, though, this is just a lack of awareness thing. So yes, you're fighting this guy, but you've got to remember there's a smoke on your left, and there's a little gap in it, and of course that's where you're getting shot from. So you've got to be paying attention to your surroundings there. Awareness definitely loses you that round. Let's see what the plan is now. So Omen will use his ult. A lot of the times you're going to go into your spawn, but we'll see. Could also be a fake, right? All right. Fighting in mid here. So this is definitely a little different than what we've been seeing. I do like this, right? Switching things up a bit. Now, the only problem, right, is they're already taking B. So now you're getting shot from under the tube, which is not a good thing. I think here, you've got to be trying to making some kind of play. I would have liked to have seen you push back over here to B. Remember, you've got your nade. Again, great for denying plants. Looks like that actually will. And I like this as well. I like going here on the far side. Now, you're going to want to peek back yellow first, right? There you go. And you had the shot first on the sky, but not going to be able to win it. I don't know what the satchel play there was, especially being on 29 health, which is one shot. You know, a player is close sight. So now you're in a really tough spot because, yeah, you're one shot. You've got player on site. You know, you don't know which angle he's going to peek from. And, yeah, that was tough. I think right there, you want to stick around on the site because you already had a player there, back Snowman. And by going back there as well, you're just doubling up for no reason. If you could have held sight there, maybe you're able to save your teammate, potentially change the round. All right. Again, now we're tie game, 10-10. So things are not looking so well. But Definitely still an opportunity here to take this game for sure.
Yeah, Baba shooting.
We have ultimate as well. Haven't seen much from the ultimate so far. A lot of pressure onto A here. I would have liked to have seen you rotate into A earlier. I think you kind of went into this round thinking, hey, I'm going to push through mid and I'm going to flank around A. But in reality, you might have been better off supporting your teammates on A, especially with your ultimate. Here, you're also taking, I think, too much time. You got teammates pushing into site. You got to be fighting with your teammates. You know, again, you're staring at a wall. I just don't know why you're going so slow, right? Because when you are pushing in like this, you can pinch them, but you can't pinch them when you're nowhere in sight, right? You're gonna miss the nade there as well. Running. I mean, at least you know where both players are. You know, Sage was to the left. You know, Omen was to the right. A good kill there. No reason to take the ult out though. Especially after tagging the Sage, you're better off running and gunning with the Phantom probably. So a lot of misplays going on there. I think first of all, you want to just turn around, run straight to A. But if nothing else, you got to go quicker on that flank. You were way too late. Your teammates all died before you even saw a single player. All right, so the enemy team will take the lead now for, I think, like the first time in the game. 10-11 here. Sheriff in mid, just going to get opped in the face. Now, you do end up getting rezzed here. Let's take a look. So, I just don't know what the plan was. So we knew this guy was here, right? So this arrow, I believe, right, will give us this position. So you know he's there. And I guess you were just trying to get up top into the top site, but even then he would see you. I don't really know. The decision making is not making sense to me. And with that round lost, we move on to match point. So here we are, 10-12, back onto the Phantom. Again, I think Phantom was the smart play. You're playing mid. A lot of players spotted over towards B. Rotating here is okay, but I would have gone up into maybe into the hallway to get on top of site. Also to be able to watch down if they push through mid here. Either way though, looks like they're not going to do that. Again, you know, you're behind the wall. There's not much. You can't really support your teammates here. So you heard the plant. You just got to be quicker, right? And unfortunately, in this situation, you're probably going to lose anyways with the op holding that angle as well. Not too much you can do there, but as you can see, this was a really, really tough game. And I mean, let's see. Can we see the scoreboard at all? I don't know if we can, but that was a very tough game. And I think the biggest takeaway that I can give you from this, first of all, I would stick to the Phantom, especially when you're struggling like this. But the one thing I noticed the most is when you are taking gunfights, you are taking the fights, but you are not ready. Your crosshair's not in the right spot. Your movement, you're not stopping to shoot. You are going in and out of the fights. You're not moving around. You're not strafing. You're just stationary, right? You're doing, there's so many different things you're doing, but all of them are wrong, right? They're all wrong given the circumstances. The biggest thing I can tell you is you want to work on swinging a corner and committing to that fight. If you can get that in your mind that, hey, I'm going to commit to this fight, that's going to make all the difference. Because what's happening is you're getting surprised by the positioning of the enemy. So when you take the fight, you're not actually ready to take the fight. And that's why you're losing them, because your crosshair's not in the right spot. You're not stopping to shoot because you're not expecting to shoot. That's the biggest thing here among all the other things I said. You're just simply losing all of these fights because you're not ready to take them. And I hope that makes sense. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I said so much during the video. We'll just stop it there. I really appreciate you for watching this long. If you guys watched this long, thanks so much. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Make sure you guys submit those VODs into Discord. Discord in the link below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Take it easy and peace.